5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Malcolm, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to the listeners for tuning in and joining us on this journey.
Bless.
It's good to be here.
Every day.
First of all, this is not our normal show. It's a Friday.
Yes,
We're
sir.
giving the people some extra, some spicy to look forward to. And I couldn't be more happy to be here today. You know why?
Talk to him.
Because Donnie's at it again. Donald Trump is at it again, brother.
Talk to us.
So, first of all, what I wanted to come here and say, it's like we have a podcast, right? And I've been studying, say, the Charlemagne the Gods and the Joe Buddens, and in order to garner attention, you need to be a little bit salacious and say, like, if you have an opinion, you need to really fucking sell it and even go a little bit above to garner attention, right? That's one of the 48 laws of power. All attention is equal. Just garner it and then you use it how you may. So just off of that a little bit, I used to come in here and I would try to be as salacious as possible because I know everyone hates Donald Trump. And I would, you know what I mean, try to justify why he's the greatest dude in the world. And I kind of realized that that's not really how I feel. Like, I really do love Donald Trump. You see, I'm saying love. I really do appreciate Donald Trump and his entertainment and how he kind of mixed the political game up. But I'm not no fucking Trump fan. Like, you're not going to catch me driving down the fucking highway with 10 MAGA flags on my truck. I don't even have a truck. That's my number one point of not being a Trump supporter. I would have definitely had a 4x4 if I was a Trump supporter, right? Fact. So I wanted to come in here and say that I still do believe that the Democrats are fucking ridiculous, but so are the Republicans. And you always try to tell me, like, yo, Fox News is ridiculous too. Maybe they are. I never watched them. Cats out the fucking bag.
Thank you.
I never watched Fox News. But both sides are ridiculous. It just so happens that when election time comes around, most people are single issue voters, right? We're all single issue voters. It just happened that in the 2020 election, the biggest single issue was whether you loved or you hated Donald Trump, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess I fell on the side slightly of liking this guy, not for any political reasons, but they're equally as fucking ridiculous.
Both right? Parties or both?
Both parties, both politicians, both candidates. They're fucking ridiculous.
And that's the scary part about politics too. It's like who to believe.
Who would
because they both everyone's ridiculous.
Donald Trump is so hated, honestly, that an 80-year-old senile guy who could barely finish a sentence won the presidency over him. And that actually happened. Like, if I was to tell you that description of a human being, you'd be like, no way a guy like that would win the presidency.
You don't think he won because he's trying to unify the country?
Absolutely not. He's won. As I said, the single most important issue this election was whether you hated or you loved Donald Trump. Maybe a small portion of people voted for Biden because they actually liked Biden. I think there was a larger portion of people that voted for Biden who liked Kamala than those who liked Biden himself.
Do you feel like Trump made that hate on himself?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's a give or take. Like, you look at it this way: Donald Trump is going to be the most loved president of our time, of our lifetime. And think about that. Do you think you agree with that?
Well, based on the votes, right? The people, you say all his voters love him?
Love the fuck out of him. Okay. I don't think there's much people that voted for Trump because, I don't like more Biden.
Haters.
Huh?
So he has more haters.
I think the more you're loved, the more you're hated. For example, right? We all knew in high school, you all know there was a few people that everyone liked. And it's like, I guess everyone likes you, but no one really likes you, right? I think that's the saying. If you're well liked by everyone, you're really well liked by nobody, really. People are just cordial with you. And there's a lot of people like that who are cool with everybody. For example, if you had a friend and your best friend was best friends with everybody, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You're not jacking that. It's like, this dude is just nice to everybody. It's just not specific to me. But those people that might be hated by some people, you know, with their people, they're extremely well loved. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, it's a fact what you're saying. Like, I feel like, Donald Trump is the most loved president in our time.
Also the most hated. Yes. But we don't look at hate. Right? We look at the love. Like, no, but for real, would you go through your life worrying about who hated you or who loved you?
Nah. Oh, I loved, yeah.
We are taught to fuck the haters and embrace those who matter to you.
Exactly.
And that's what Donald Trump did. Right? So I just wanted to come in here and say that I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a far right guy, and fuck both of them. But Donald Trump is the most entertaining man in America. Also the most persuasive man in America. Like the things that he does, like someone who just appreciates intellect and intelligence. I was watching this Joe Rogan interview, and the guy was talking about his insults. His insults are just so genius. In 2016, he was running against Jeb Bush, and he called Jeb Bush, what was it? I think it was Crooked Jeb or something like that.
Jeff Bush is in the Republican Party.
He's a Republican. They were running against each other in the primaries to be the elect for the Republican Party. And I forgot exactly the nickname he gave to him, but basically it made people. Okay, I'm gonna relax because I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. For example, the Biden insult. What did he call Joe Biden?
Sleepy Joe. Huh?
Sleepy Joe. You look at Joe Biden, he kind of looks fucking sleepy. You know what I mean? And you take that you're like, oh shit, maybe Joe Biden really is a sleepy, senile motherfucker. Maybe he's not. But when I see Joe Biden, that's what I think. We all know it. Men, women alike, we are visual creatures. So he creates these insults that plays to your, you know what I mean? Oh, I can imagine Joe Biden being sleepy. And it resonates with his people. But yeah, he's just smart. And I think what he's doing now is going to show why he's really smart.
You think he's going to win? I
do not think he's going to win the election, nor do I think he should win the election. I think Biden won fair and square. I'm not going to doubt. I think doubting whether he actually won the presidency or not is sort of like a conspiracy theory. And I'm not really a conspiracy theory kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like everyone says he won. I'm going to trust the system. I want to trust the people that run the system that they did the correct job. And I don't think wide voter fraud like that would have been able to pass all the different levels it has to go through. Like for that to be a fact, you would have to assume that a whole network of people with different interests, right? Different lifestyles, people that don't know each other conspired together in all these different states to make that happen. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that was possible.
So you didn't think voter fraud happened at all?
It definitely did happen on a small scale. So this is my thing, and this is why I think Donald Trump is so fucking intelligent, right? We all thought him going to court and denying and bringing up the fact that there was voter fraud was to literally get hundreds of thousands of votes overturned. And even me at the time in my Donald Trump state of mind was like, that's not going to work, right? You're not going to get a state to throw out 100,000 fucking ballots. But okay, so what's the plan behind it? I don't think Donald Trump is dumb. It came out he was paying his lawyer $20,000 a day. He was paying the
lawyer fees.
He was paying a lawyer who hadn't practiced law in 20 years that looked like a fucking Mucinex germ. What's his name? Rudy Giuliani? That's his lawyer. He hasn't practiced law in over 30 years. Was his head lawyer. $20,000 a day to bring these things to thing. At first, I'm like, yo, Giuliani is fucking ripping Trump off. But this morning, the news came out that Trump said, I will leave the White House if the Electoral College elects Joe Biden president. Okay, what does that mean? I was trying to explain this to you earlier, and I really don't fully understand it. I think earlier during the year, I was like learning about Electoral College, and it caught my eye. So the way the Electoral College works is that when you win a state, all the electors of that state are pledged to vote for you, right? So, for example, you win Florida. Florida has 60 electoral votes. Do you know how much they actually have? Is it like 50 something or like 63 or something?
Florida state?
Yeah, for the state of Florida.
No, it's not in the 50s.
It's not that much?
I think Texas has the most. And Texas is like, it's a lot.
All right. I'll search it out. I want to know. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm not saying Donald Trump is going to win the election, but I see his tactics, and it might work. It has a chance of working if everything was executed to the T. You know?
Hold on.
Your shit moving slow.
29, I think.
29, that's it. Okay. For example, Florida has 29 electoral votes. the popular vote goes for Donald Trump in Florida. So technically, he's supposed to get all 39 of those votes. But all those electoral votes are individual people technically, right? They're called electoral voters or whatever they're called, and they have the ability to either give the votes they were pledged for, which is what 99% of them do, or they can become what's called a faithless elector and literally go rogue and vote for the other person. That is a possibility. In 2016, there were 2 faithless voters that did not vote for Donald Trump, and there were 5 that did not vote for Hillary Clinton, even though their states won, those candidates won those states, right? Alexander Hamilton, when he was writing the Constitution, he's one of the founding fathers. When he was writing the Constitution, he literally, I want to read it for you guys because this is really fucking telling. Am I doing a good job of explaining this so far?
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yes.
You guess? No?
No, I am.
All right. Okay, so Alexander Hamilton, right? When he was crafting the Constitution, one of the things he said was, men most capable of analyzing the qualities adapted to the station and acting under circumstances favorable to deliberation and to a judicious combination of all the reasons and inducements which were proper to govern their choice. That is a whole bunch of gibberish to say. These people have the ability to use their common sense to say, if shit is looking a little funny in the light, you have the ability to vote for who you think won or who you think would be best served as president.
And so he's talking for the electoral
college
people.
Yes. Like, if y'all think it's some funny shit going on, the fate of America is in your hands. Please elect the correct guy. We understand that you should vote for, because the election is supposed to be fair. It should not be any voter fraud. You should vote for whoever your state elects, not for who you want, for whoever your state elects. If you think there was some funny business and your state elected Donald Trump, but due to election fraud, Joe Biden was elected, you can take it upon yourself and become a faithless voter.
No. So there's 29 electoral votes.
In Florida.
In Florida, right?
Okay.
Donald Trump won that.
Yes.
So that means we're talking about 29 people?
29 people, yes.
All right, it's 29
that
people.
That all goes to, they meet with states. Like, it's a state-by-state thing. They all go, they sit down in a room. Okay, I cast my ballot. Most of the times, 29 votes are going to go to Donald Trump.
All right, so for this example, so 29 votes. So let's say 3 people voted Democrat.
Okay.
And
they become a faithless voter.
Yeah, the 26 vote. So let's say this happened right now.
Yes.
The 26 voted Republican, right? And then Trump does the whole situation. It goes through. They meet, whoever, the lawyers meet with the 29 electoral votes, and everything flips. 26 turns Democratic, and those 3 that were Democratic turn Republican. So now Florida, I know that's not going to happen. I'm just saying, for example, Florida would turn to a Democratic state, so Biden would get those 29 points.
No, that's not how it works. So for example, Trump wins Florida. Those 29 voters go into a room and they vote. Now, if 5 of those voters think that Trump cheated, and they have good reason to believe that, and there's not a law in that state where you can be a faithless voter, because I think there's a few states where you cannot become a faithless voter, they can literally say, 5 of us are voting for Joe Biden. Therefore, Joe Biden is going to gain 5 electoral votes, period. You remember, the Electoral College, it doesn't state that you have to win a certain amount of states, even. It states you have to have 270 electoral votes. So even if Joe Biden was to win all the states he won now, but let's say he got let's say the score was what Donald Trump have? 230 right now. Joe Biden has like 300 and something. Let's say one electoral voter from each state, right? It's 50 states. Goes rogue and said, I am voting for Joe Biden. One electoral college. Joe Biden still won those states, but one voter, just one voter, said, okay, each of my vote is going to go to Donald Trump. That would be 50 fucking electoral college votes. That could swing an entire election just based on faithless voters. So, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying, but now it's like, bro, this whole presidency shit is weird. Because,
it is not. Yo, it's
listen,
literally go ahead.
No, because all right, when Hillary and Trump were going against each other, everyone thought process was the population. Now, this year, electoral votes, you win the states. Now, coming to find out, going back to Florida, 29, right? So Donald Trump has all 29 right now, you would say.
Yes.
5 of those people could flip and go, I want to be Democratic.
Literally.
And so those 5 can go to Biden.
Literally.
But does that mean that's only what's the thing you calling this? What is it called?
Faithless elector.
So that only happens when it goes under faithless elector.
That is called a faithless elector. When you do not vote for the candidate that won your state, you are a faithless elector. So if 5 voters from Florida decide to vote for Joe Biden, cast their ballots of electoral point for Joe Biden, they're a faithless elector. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying, but that's crazy though.
It literally means that Americans do not choose a president. Technically, because these guys in good faith. That's why unless
someone acts out how Donald Trump is acting out.
It doesn't even matter. It have to be Donald Trump. Like literally, the thing about it is most electors act in good faith. They are really the people that are electing the president. What happens is, for example, and I hate using stupid examples because I feel like some of my examples are stupid, but let's say power. You're the head of the mafia. You don't kill anyone, but you control everyone getting killed. For you to lose all your power you could easily lose all your power if all your hitmen stopped acting in your good faith. Like your ward has no more say. Then you don't have that power anymore. But most of the time, based on the power you have, those gunmen are going to kill someone if you say kill them.
Yeah.
Right? They act in good faith, and that's how you're able to keep your power. Right? Same thing with the Electoral College. Most electoral voters are faithful to this person their state elects. So technically, we control the presidency.
Yeah.
But if they all became faithless electors, they could choose whoever the fuck they want.
All right, so no matter what, at the end of the day, these electoral voters, people, can elect whoever they want.
Yes.
No matter what. So it's not just under the faithless. What is it called? Faithless elect?
Well, they can elect whoever they want.
What is it called? What's the name?
A faithless elector.
Faithless elector. Okay.
Right. But they just...
at the end of the day, they can elect whoever they please.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
But most of them act in good faith.
Good faith and let it rock.
And in a few states, it's actually illegal.
Okay.
To be a faithless elector. So basically, it goes to it regardless. But I think Donald Trump thing for going to court was to influence the media, influence those electoral voters to say, listen, when it's time for y'all to go in that courtroom and cast y'all votes, I want to seed enough doubt in your mind that there's going to be 50 faithless electors across the United States so that I come out on top. I do not think that's going to work. I don't know how it would work. I don't think you could influence that much people to become faithless electors, right? But that was his strategy. His strategy was not to literally say, I'm going to get Pennsylvania to overturn 100,000 votes, and I'm going to get Nevada to overturn 100,000 votes. It was literally to set the media up so those 50 electoral voters that goes into, let's say, a given state, enough of them doubt the results that, just like Alexander Hamilton said, listen, use your judgment, and if you think some fuck shit happen, you do what's best for the country. I don't know.
And he's like, yo, I'm going to let the big boys speak. I don't care about the people.
Yes.
I'm going to let the big boys decide. They know what it is. They know what's best for this country. He coming like the head honcho like that.
He coming like the head honcho. Did you see, so apparently he had a press conference last night. And he's so fucking hurt right now. There's a video of a guy asking him a question. He's like, yo, don't speak to the fucking president like that. Don't speak to the president like that. Starts blacking on this dude. And you can see, like, yo, shit is weighing heavy on Trump, bro. He's really taking a hit. Like psychologically, I think he needs help right now.
Because he's might take an L?
Because he did take an L.
And you think that's bothered his what's the word I'm looking for? I can't believe I can't find this word. It's bothering his manlyhood.
Yes.
I would say.
I don't think Donald Trump knows how to lose.
He don't. That's true.
Look at what he says to this guy.
Well, if they do, they made a mistake. Because this election was a fraud. Just so you understand, this election was a fraud. I mean, they have Biden beating Obama on Obama's vote in areas that mattered in terms of the election, in swing states. And yet he's losing to Obama all over the place. But he's beating Obama in swing states, which are the states that mattered for purposes of the election.
Before I move forward, basically what he said was, we all understand that Obama is a way more popular and well-loved president than Joe Biden. But somehow Joe Biden are beating Obama in votes, like number of votes in a bunch of popular key swing states. That looks a little funny, but I don't think Donald Trump understands how much people hate him. Right? It's true. Not about what people love Biden. It's about people hating you. You know what I mean?
So, no, I can't say that at all. I think it's a possibility. They're trying to look between you people. Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me.
He's like, yo, you know who you talking to? He went to Donald Trump before he became a president.
Yes.
Which he never really changed because he's talking to Biden and the dude Bush however he wants.
Yes. He's so really funny, bro.
It's not.
What an insult. What other president is coming with that quick of a smooth insult?
That's true. Hey, look, he got money where he could talk to. He know that him speaking rude to that person is not going to affect him paying $20,000 to his lawyer.
Exactly. And now this is the part where I think he's deeply psychologically hurt. Like, this has to be something that, look at this.
President of the United States, don't ever talk to the president that way. I'm going to go with another.
He pulled out the president card on him.
Don't
you ever speak to the president like that. I think he's fucked up right now.
I mean, in history, there has to be a president that reacted to people like that. But recently, I mean, right? You haven't heard anyone, a president, let's say from 2000 to now, Bush and
that was
Obama,
hated like that?
Not hated like that, but react to people.
No one ever.
Everything is more of, okay, I have to answer your question or...
No one ever.
But makes sense. That's because Donald Trump comes from an era of business and you not talking to me like that and I'm not going to accept that.
It's not only...
And like I said, I'm a businessman. I can talk to whoever I want. He had a show called You're Fired.
There it is. It's the show more than the business, right? I forgot where I heard this. Donald Trump is a businessman. He's been a public figure as long as he's been a businessman. He is a fucking entertainer, right? And he has a whole bunch of experience talking back to people. You know what I mean? Just like a different version of Yo Mama jokes where it's like snap. You know what I mean? Like he's good at snapping back at people. And I think that's where that comes from. Not really in a business sense, but being a public figure for that long. And he probably didn't just start taking shots at people. I'm sure people used to try to shit on him all the time, and he would always have witty things to say.
No, all the time. But I mean, I think it's more of a business thing because that's the era he grew up in.
But how does that relate to business, though?
What? His reaction?
Being snappy, yeah.
Because
you can't conduct yourself like that in a business meeting.
Wall Street, you're right. In a business meeting, no. But listen. Let me bring you to this example. In Wall Street, they said that they used to talk to anyone, however, not on the phone too, but anyone, any employees, however the fuck they want. Does he have employees? Yeah, he had employees in the 80s. I'm pretty sure that he talked to him however you want. He has a show called
But that's not how he talks to Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. They're not employees of his. Those are rivals.
Those are rivals, right? Understandable. And I'm pretty sure we had a conference, right? Yeah. You want to talk shit about the rivals, right? Just me and you in the room like we're doing right now. You would talk shit about the rivals, right? Mm-hmm. But when the rival's in your face, you're going to feel a type of way and you're Donald Trump. You're not going to say it as cruel as you did when you had as an employee. You're going to keep it more professional and say it this way. You're going to call him Sleepy Joe. But behind closed doors, when you in your meetings with your party, you probably call Joe a piece of shit etc.
I think he's
etc.
called him a piece of shit on stage.
See, then I don't know. Then he's calling something even worse.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I get what you say. It's definitely a function of he's definitely had experiences that not a lot of regular politicians have, and that what gives him the ability to act the way he does.
And I mean, you turn your dad business around. I don't know if it's $1 billion business.
No, that's the thing. His dad gave him a few $1 million, and people try to shit on his success like you are supposed to turn 10 million into 2 billion and becoming the president of the United States.
Yeah, you supposed. Wait. People are shitting on him saying that
people
you're not
are saying,
supposed.
"Oh, you didn't really achieve anything. Your father gave you that money." That's what people try to say, and I'm
stupid.
like, it's so fucking stupid. If I was to give you $10 million, the best I could expect from you is in 20 years to have 5.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like literally, and you might not have none because you don't know shit about finances. This motherfucker took 10 and turned it into 2 billion and becoming the most powerful man in the fucking country. Give him his respect.
Yeah, you got to give him that respect for that.
And you know what it is? I think that's kind of the reason why I kind of fell in love with him, because it's so easy to see the genius in this man. However he used it, you don't agree with it. Okay, I agree with you. Whatever the fuck you feel about Donald Trump, I agree with you. Just don't tell me he's not smart. Just don't tell me he's not successful.
But here's the thing. All right, yeah, you can't say that, but people go, he's just not a good president. He's a good businessman. He's just not a good president for the people.
I know,
but that's acceptable.
I know 7 million people that would disagree with you.
But that's true. But I know more people that would disagree with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Million, yeah.
Exactly. So it's fair to say that that's could be like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, perfect example. Mike and Jordan's a great basketball player. When he played baseball, he's just not a good baseball player. That doesn't mean that he's a horrible person in general. Yeah. Just he's great in this field, and he's not so great in this field. But and that's how Donald Trump is with a presidency, but the way he acts. Like, yeah, you could change the way people act now when they become president, but that's also a problem that you cannot, like I said, the big problem is be yourself in a certain area. Like Jordan, you can't dribble a basketball while playing baseball. You understand what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
But that's the problem I feel like the 8 million people had. It was like, yeah, you're putting a little divide in this country, and this is why I hate you.
Let me ask you, 1,000%.
Business-wise, you don't need to be for everyone. You be for yourself. We all know that. Business, be for yourself. But as a president, you want to be more for the people, the masses. Same thing when Barack Obama had the...
I slightly disagree with you on that.
Okay,
because
just
based on being loved, not playing to the masses, as we had the discussion about earlier, is going to get you more loved. When you play to your crowd, when you know your mother loves you more than the kid down the street, you feel important, and then you love your mom more than any other woman in the world. But if your mom was to come to school and say, I love everybody the same, your girlfriend would say, I love all of you guys, you'd be like, bitch, get out of my face. You're not my girlfriend anymore. But go ahead. If that made any sense.
That makes sense, but...
Right. No, but go ahead.
It makes sense, but it's really not for the theme of the whole thing. Yeah, it's not for presidency. Presidency, you need to be for everyone. It's better for everyone, which people want. But same thing, Barack Obama, when Charlamagne the guy asked him, like, black people feel like you didn't do anything for the black community. He was like, he did this, he did that, and he was saying, well, there was people in the way, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you can't change 400 years of trauma in 8 years, which is a fact. You understand what I'm saying?
Do you think Obama did as much as he could?
Like I said, I didn't do any research on that situation, but what he made it seem like he tried things, and I believe, what is it, the House,
it was
Congress,
blocked, the Senate, the House,
they could block you from doing certain things. But other than that, also, I don't want people to feel like a president is supposed to save you at the end of the day. So, but I forgot where I was going with that. I was really interrupted. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That's why. But yeah. So,
but my thing is, so should Obama have been the Donald Trump for black people? Like, should he have said, fuck everybody else? White people have been taken care of. Asian Americans have been taken care of. Jewish Americans have been taken care of, right? We get it. All lives matter, but Obama kind of should have been a little bit more Black Lives Matter, which I think he was all lives matter in the sense of the statement. Like, he was like, I'm going to be everyone's president. I'm going to serve everyone's interest. And you know what I mean?
Masses.
I think he would have been
better
loved, better revered if he was black people's president, which is the reason why we wanted a black person in office. Like, Marion Barry, right? They literally had to pass laws for this motherfucker because he was too entrenched with the black community. He was the first black mayor of Washington, D.C. He came in. He was like, listen, 40% of contracts are automatically going to black entrepreneurs. Barack Obama didn't do that. And I get it. The presidency is a way higher office, but Marion Barry is revered. He got arrested for smoking crack in a crack house, and that he got elected right as soon as he came out of rehab. As soon as he came out of rehab, he got reelected because the people loved him.
And there's nothing wrong with smoking crack around that time because
there's nothing wrong with smoking crack right now.
No, that's a problem.
What's up?
I just watched The Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm like, all right, bro, this dude obviously should have been locked up for all the drugs he just did.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So him being locked in the crack, I was like, all right.
Should he be arrested for doing drugs?
Or coke? Yes, you should get arrested for doing drugs. But what I'm saying is not a problem. Like if someone hears this, goes, "Oh no, he." I'm glad that he won to become the mayor of Washington D.C. because people can hear that and go, "Oh, he's a piece of shit." Well, the dudes on Wall Street were doing drugs like it was night and day.
Well, this was a black community, so they were well familiar with crack. Not to how that's not true. Racist, but
and also Washington
D.C. uncles was crackheads, they nephews was.
Bro, everyone was doing crack, bro. Don't just say black people. Everyone. It's just that black people are highly affected because of mass incarceration. Like all of them shits from the 70s and 80s was pinned on black
white
people.
People were crackheads too, but I'm saying black people were familiar with crack because it was so entrenched in the community. You knew somebody that was on crack or somebody that was selling crack.
And white people did the same thing.
Absolutely.
So it's just that when mass incarceration happens and the numbers increase, you put an image on that. It's what's gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like the same thing if people think, yes, Africa is poor, but if you really think about it, Africa is so fucking big that there's gonna be poor places, but there is places that are wealthy as fuck. Yeah. You can't just portray that Africa is just. When people say that, they portray Africa as whole, as a just whole poor place, where we obviously know that's the motherland of everything.
That is the motherland, but I actually remember we had a big discussion about this a few episodes ago, and I went and did my Google research because, you know what I mean, I'm not an ignorant person. Like, sometimes we might get into argument here, and I'm saying something because I believe it, and then sometimes I listen back to the episode, and I'm like, Nick, you might have been wrong. Go do some research. Africa is probably not the poorest country in the world. They're by far the poorest country in the world. And as I said, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
But do you think it's like that because it's so big? You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's so fucking big. It's bigger than every other country.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's the biggest
Africa
country.
Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent.
I'm sorry.
Russia is a huge fucking country.
Well,
now, granted, a lot
of
Russia is not inhabited. You might have a point saying that. There's so much people in Africa because we do view Africa as a country.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. We do view Africa as a country, but I mean, that's something I would also have to look into. Maybe you have some merit saying that, but based on the averages, I think the average African person lives off less than $1 a day. And that's maybe because there are a lot of people, but also
there's a lot of land.
Yeah, but also maybe, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to make any assumptions. Maybe the land is not well enough to feed the people. Yeah. But there's something going on there.
But that's not.
But there's also great parts of Africa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why not? I look at it as like glorified. But that's the thing. We were so mind fucked. Personally, that you see on TV, you think of Africa, poor as fuck, always needs help, always gonna need something. Which, you know, people are eating over there. Black people are eating over there.
Yeah, there's definitely,
and there's poor people here too. And there's people eating over here.
I don't think we should ever focus on American poverty because I don't think there's really much poor people in America, and that's probably a little bit salacious. True. But American poverty is fucking luxurious compared to Indian and fucking African poverty, right? What was I gonna say? The fact that Africa is marketed that way, I think there's a little bit of benefit. I think. Obviously, we understand what marketing does. It gets people emotionally involved, right? That's just like we're in a capitalist society and you see the new shoes and new iPhones and new watches every day and you're persuaded to go buy it. Unfortunately, when people do see these commercials, they do donate money to Africa. And there has been a lot of stories where, you know what I mean, communities have changed. Communities have been able to afford electricity, running water, a bathroom that could flush. So maybe there is a positive to it. And I think Africa, out of all the poor places in the world, they probably get the most funding because of that specific reason. So maybe there is a positive to it.
So you could look at the positive like that, but here's the thing too: what people need to realize.
And two things can be true. Like the things we're saying doesn't have to go against each other. You like the marketing could be a ploy to brainwash us, but also it might serve somewhat of a positive.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Think about it. I was listening to Todd Billy, shout out Todd Billy, and he was stating this. He said, if you always listen to victims, what do you think your mindset's going to be?
Victim mentality.
Victim mentality. So there's a gentleman who, I never listened to him, but Todd Billy said this is what he does. He listened to the O.J. Simpson music video by Jay-Z, and he was saying that, oh, black people can't do this. Black people didn't have houses in Dumbo. Black people don't have money like this. Well, Todd Billy's like, why are you having that mindset? You know, Jay-Z's talking about for himself. And he was saying, Todd Billy was saying, if black people listen to more wealthy people, things would change. Instead of just listen to people who play the victim card, instead of just listen to the news where they play the victim card, instead of listen to rappers speak where they speak on people that play victim card, if you listen to black people that actually getting money, read books of black people getting money, your mindset will change. And I feel like that's also a big problem, you know, and black community in general, but also that image going back to Africa. That's why I stated it, because you just see, oh, Africans always need money, and that comes to the realization that Africa's poor as shit. And we all had, I don't know, because you were young in Trinidad, but growing up, there's always African jokes, like African booty scratcher and stuff like that. But if you see the wealthy part of Africa, then your mindset and idea has expanded. These motherfuckers got money. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to make people realize. Like, don't play victim card and to speak on victims. You know, there's an opposite of everything too. Like you speak about Russia. You know, Russia's big as fuck. There's people living in the fucking snow, dirt poor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if they portray that image, what would we think about Russia? Listen, what would we think about Russia?
The thing about Russia,
what would we think about Russia? Because I don't want you going to play. I still have stuff to say.
There's not the poverty in Russia is not like it is.
But what I'm saying, Russia's big as fuck. So there's not a big ass city making a lot of money in those mountains. Yeah, what I'm saying is there's poor people live. I'm correlated to Africa.
But African poverty is way different.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm trying to say. The image of it. You go to a village in Africa, right? Is there a village in Russia? In the mountains, in the snow.
Not on that scale, but not on the scale of poverty where
that's
people
understandable.
But what
I'm saying is, if you portray that image to people on TV in the U.S. and Russia, like, yo, this is how they live in Russia.
So you're talking about a purposely engineered message that is not truthful.
I'm using an example.
Is the example based in fact?
Oh, now is Nick? I'm just using an example.
Based
what would happen? Nick, I'm using an example. Can you understand what's going on right here, please?
No,
what I'm saying is,
do not understand.
if we go to Russia and they only show poor the part of Russia, people living in mountain snow, poor as fuck, what are you gonna think? Russia is poor as fuck, gonna need help. I'm using an example as that's what the media could be portraying as. When you could look at Russia, yes, it's a fact. You go look at Russia like, yo, Russia is second in the country and making a lot of money, which is a fact, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But Africa is not second.
I understand it's not second, but I'm saying people are getting money. People are actually getting money and helping Africa, but it's so fucking big.
So you covered a lot of things. Number one, things are relative, and Africa is not going to be the country we refer to as having wealth because they're so far behind. If you want to talk about wealth, let's talk about the United States of America. Let's talk about China. Let's talk about the entirety of Europe, right? Things are relative. Like if you have Jay-Z in this room, we're going to focus on Jay-Z's wealth. If Jay-Z goes into a room with Bill Gates and Elon Musk, we're going to focus on their wealth because it's all relative. I'm not saying Africa is 1,000% poor, but relatively, that's not what you're going to market that country as. Because if you want to talk about wealth, we know the countries that people go to amass wealth.
All I'm saying is people change your mindset on certain things, and no more people are eating. Don't play the victim card. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm not trying to base it off of facts and all that. I'm just saying victim.
Well, you have to base things off facts, but
Nick, you say to yourself, you don't base everything you say off of facts.
What did I say? It's not based off facts.
All right, I'm just using shit as an example. It don't have to come down like this. I understand where you come from. You can understand how I am.
I understand a lot of things you said.
I'm not saying it's giving people false news. What I'm saying is be like if you see something on social media, go do your fucking research. Somebody could be like, this dude killed 10,000 people. Someone's gonna reshare it.
And if you do your research,
and it's like,
Africa,
this dude only killed 5 people.
And if you do your research, Africa is the poorest country in the world.
I understand, but I'm not saying Africa is the richest thing. But what I'm basically saying is, I went from victim card. I just want people to understand the mindset of having, think people are getting money. Stop playing victim card. You understand what I'm saying? I'm using shit as an example. I don't think that's a good example. That is a good example. Because
how is Africa being portrayed? And there's some really good things you want to say that I want to get to. Huh?
That people are getting money.
So because they portray poor Africans, that means they're playing a victim card, or they're...
That's to think Africa as a whole is so poor.
No one says that. I mean, if you don't want to do your research, like when they show a part of Africa, they're saying that part is poor.
And I'm gonna think about the people. I mean, it's just two different mindsets.
But I don't think that has anything to say with the victim card. Now let's go back to the victim card, and this is why. This is a small issue that I have with Democrats. They make black people feel inferior just based on the fact of, you need help. Oh, these poor black kids, they need help. And the thing is, life is such a crazy dichotomy, and the political spectrum of far right, far left is so idiotic because all of us exist in the middle. Even as a black person, I would say there's a great seesaw balance of one side saying, you are fucked up. Slavery put you here. You do need help from the government. And on the other side of the seesaw, I think it's equally balanced of you saying, listen, man, ain't nobody going to feel sorry for me. Let me get my shit together. And I'm sorry to say, pull myself up by the bootstrap, right? That's a balance. But far right wants to tell us that, hey, you guys don't need any help. You guys got to get it on your own. And far left wants to say, you guys need all the help in the world. Everything is everyone else's fault. And that's why I used to hate Candace Owens, the Fox News analyst. I don't know if she's an analyst. She's talent. Everyone hates her, right? She's a black lady, and she is basically the most far right person ever. But listening to her, I kind of find some positive things. Like, she talks about how the black people need to get off of that victim mentality, as you say, and I kind of agree with it. And that's to your point. We can't only play the victim card. Even though we are victims, that's the fucked up part about it, right? There is some truth in the fact that black people are victims, unfortunately. In the world that we live in today, no one's going to feel sorry for us.
That's true.
But at the same time, we do need help.
No, I do need help. And I think it's more of the fear of the divide in race that Donald Trump has put to where now you feel like white people feel like they're more superior than you in any certain situation because of that backing of Donald Trump, or what he says and everything, of what he acts on race.
I wouldn't say
like
white
that's just
people.
Part of it.
I wouldn't say white people. I would say people who have already felt like that feel emboldened to express that now. I don't think. Well,
at the end of the day, honestly, keeping it blunt, this whole presidency is a race thing.
You think so?
At the end of the day, yeah, a race thing.
Why do you think so?
Why do I think so?
Yeah,
because
I disagree.
That's understandable. You disagree, and I think it's more of a race thing because 8 million people hate him, right?
Right.
And like what you say before, they hate him, and I think they hate him because of a race situation. I don't think, and then he put a race divide. I don't think it was just because of Joe Biden, like you stated. You stated like maybe 1 million of these people actually understood what Joe Biden was for and voted for him for that. But if it has to be hate on him and what he was standing behind, you understand what I'm saying? There's like race situations that they want Donald Trump to speak about, and he didn't come out blunt about it.
I think that's a portion of it.
I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it blunt. You understand? I want the people to know that, like, this is how I feel. I'm pretty sure a lot of people
feel. You know that's how you feel.
Yeah, I want, you know. Because you stated that 8 million people hate him. So why do you think they hate him?
Well, I think.
Why do you think they hate him?
Well, so I think maybe race issues might definitely play a big part, but also, as I said, most people are single issue voters. Some people might not like his foreign policy. Some people might not like
8 million
the way he acts. I mean, I don't think 8 million people all voted for the same issue. As I said, we all have different backgrounds. We all think differently.
60%.
There's a good argument for that.
I don't think any of those people cared about legal. I think it was more like, yo, you put a whole divide, a race divide.
You think every single person that voted for Joe Biden?
I would say 60%. You said it earlier in the show. You said majority of people hate Donald Trump.
I did not say they all hated Donald Trump for race relations. But that's what you're trying to put in my mouth right now.
Yeah, that's what you stated.
That's not what I said.
So why did they hate him? You said legal fears.
I just said, they tried to impeach him for working with Russia. Like, I think a lot of people didn't vote for him because of that.
Nick,
I think a lot of people.
City, you think those people cared about Russia, or they care more about black people? New York City.
No, New York, and that's a great example. New York City. It doesn't matter who's on that Republican ticket. They're going to vote Democrat.
I understand that, but
so that's a clear indication that everyone does not think Donald Trump. I do not think Donald Trump is a racist. Yes, he definitely riled up racial anger by the people that he empowered.
Central 5,
Central Park 5.
Yeah,
what is that?
You know, he was on the new front page and stated hang them. Told the kids to get hung.
And now we're getting into semantics with what Joe Biden said about black people too. So does he hate about black people? So why didn't people not vote for it? So are you saying that all the people that voted for Trump also didn't vote for him because Joe Biden was a racist?
No, because I think, but we talked about this before, because it's more of someone in the past. They both have the same past, right? But someone came out and never changed, and one person did. Well, and those are your last two options.
I think there are racist, and this is just simply to put it, and I think everyone would agree with this. I think there are racist people that voted for Joe Biden. And that is the number one proof that people that only voted against Donald Trump did not only vote because he's a racist. Some people voted against him for other issues. Like, race is not on top of every single person's mind as we may think. As I said, you have a good argument of saying that 60% of people...
Because I think the big thing with this presidency was all race at the end of the day.
And I said I disagree.
I understand that, but... haven't heard. Who have you argued with? When you argue with your parents, is it based off of race?
No,
it's not.
Taxes. I think my mom's number one issue, and we can call her, and she could verify this, that she used to get a lot bigger refund checks and I think most people who are in that tax bracket got a lot more money back when Obama was in office. Andy doesn't like Andy personally is the race guy, but Andy also brings race into everything.
Okay.
Everything. Right? He doesn't think that a lot of good white people out there. Like,
do you think this presidential run was based off of Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter? A big part of it?
I do think it was
more than 50%.
No, I think
okay.
I think equally. I think
equally to what
I said. The coronavirus, that was also a big part of why a lot of people didn't vote for Donald Trump.
Okay,
you know what I mean. I'm not saying you're incorrect that racism played a big part, because I said Donald Trump definitely riled up his base, who are viewed as racist people, which has kind of been debunked because we've seen the minority voters for Donald Trump go up in this election. They went up over 10% in all sectors. Asians, Indians, blacks, Hispanics. For God's sakes, he won the most Hispanic state in America. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's...
Hispanics for Trump.
Hispanics for Trump.
That shit funny.
That's a fact, but I don't know. But as I said, racism definitely played a big part in it, but I'm not going to sit here and act like that's the only issue people had, because then you're dismissing the other issues that people have. And I'm not ignorant enough as a black person to think my issue should be everyone's else issue.
No, that's true. I'm just saying.
No, that's a fact.
We could see who's jacking at that race was the bigger issue. The listeners.
Yeah, I think between race and the coronavirus, that probably was the number one deciding factors.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
Nothing.
Yeah, but shout out to Trump. Shout out to Biden. I think I'm honestly looking forward to what Biden is going to do over the next 4 years.
I can't wait till this shit's over with.
Yeah, and one thing I
want to talk about this. I want to talk about money.
We're going to talk about money after this, but I do not want to hear anyone come out and say, I don't even want to hear Biden talk about how well he did with coronavirus. Like, it's going to be so unfair to see Joe Biden come into office after a vaccine has been created and start talking about, yeah, you see what I did with the corona. You see how I handled it.
That is what's going to happen. But
which is so government fucking ignorant.
As people.
Huh?
Government failed us. If it's the fact that this shit was man-made, then what's the prospect of it coming over here, and why are we infecting our people with a man-made infection?
Well, I mean, the whole world was infected, so we can't just say our government.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's just childish. You let all your people down. That's sad.
How?
Who wants to deal with a virus?
I mean, the government couldn't stop it.
No, I understand.
If it was spread by China, which Tyrese said this last week, it was spread by China. Yeah, but by China.
Yeah, but don't they have ties? You gotta have some type of fears like, yo, there's gonna be a virus happening. I don't know. I might be thinking on some conspiracy level thinking, or it could be like a hidden. China could just be fucking up the whole world on some infection war shit, or there was a meeting. It's like, yo, this is just gonna happen for this to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind of pissed off at those guys.
Conspiracy theory wallet right now.
Yeah, but I'm pissed off at those guys, bro. You affected a lot of people. You hurt a lot of people. Yeah. I feel bad for a lot of people. You hurt a lot of businesses. You know. It is what it is. It's kind of heartbreaking if you really think about it. Like, why are we living like this in 2020? Figure it out. Hurry up and figure it out.
It's going to be
people are tired of waiting.
It's already figured out, I think.
I hope so.
I think next week they're going to start rolling out. No, I'm chatting. That's what Trump said. Trump said next week the vaccine is about to start rolling out.
Oh, Trump, come on, let's get it going. If you said it next week, let's get it going. Because can't be living like this.
That's a fact.
No more, bro. This is ridiculous.
And yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I hate the government because they're so fucking hypocritical. So I think California came out a few days ago and they put out. So first of all, if you're traveling to California, you have to sign a waiver that says you need to quarantine for 14 days after you land in California before you could even live your life. And it's like, people are traveling for Thanksgiving. Who the fuck is going to show up on December 25th and quarantine for 14 days? Like, you're there for one day usually and you're going right back, right? If you don't do it, the fine is $3,000, possible imprisonment, right? Just the dumbest shit. Like, who the fuck are you to tell people, listen, you're coming here for Thanksgiving, you have to quarantine for fucking
Get the people tested.
Or don't tell people what the fuck to do with their lives.
Or tell them just to get tested because you have more control now. Because if you've infected, I was like, all right, buddy, you got tested. It's not like, oh, you just left the country, you're automatically infected.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you have to, all right, you be like this, yo, you come here first day, you get tested. Day after you get tested. Day after you get, for 2 weeks straight, you get tested instead of locking you up for 14 days. Like, that shit is ridiculous.
And the mayor I forgot what state it was. It was some... I want to remember. I cannot remember. It was a black mayor, fresh baldy too. Baldy is beautiful. This black dude, cute.
In California?
No, he's not from California. I forgot what state he was from. But you should get a baldy like that. I think you'll look fire.
One day, Serena want me to get a baldy.
Oh, she do?
Yeah.
That's not grown. She gonna feel like she would have grown up. Like, we used to think a beard made you look grown up. A baldy is really the grownest move you could make as a man.
You jacking that?
Because you're really saying like, listen, I'm out here. I'm coming out beard, baby girl. Like, I don't care. Beard. I don't care about what nobody think. I'm about to show niggas a shininess on my head. But this dude is telling everybody, please do not travel for Thanksgiving. Please do not go anywhere. Him and his family went all the way down to like fucking Tennessee or somewhere. And it's just like, these guys are all big ass fucking hypocrites.
They're puppets.
They're puppets. I don't know if they're puppets. Once again, you and your conspiracy theory shit, but...
No, that's not conspiracy theory.
They're puppets by...
Puppets. Like, you have to tell the people that. You're a puppet. I'm telling you to tell the people that, but you can go do whatever you want because you know you're not going to do that. You're a puppet.
I think they did the same thing with Nancy Pelosi. She went to a fucking like hairdressing salon and was getting her hair washed like during the middle of the pandemic.
Exactly,
This
bro.
is initially when everything was so shut down.
They telling you not to do nothing. That's the problem. Like, you telling everyone not to do nothing. That's why I feel bad for the people.
Can you blame them?
No, I can't blame them.
If you're a parent, if you're smoking crack, should you tell your kid it's okay to smoke crack?
No, it's not okay to. Yeah,
tell your kid
that's what I'm saying.
So,
but yo, you hear something crazy? I kind of see
where they're coming from.
I was told. Here's something. Some dude was on a long ass line for the test.
Yeah,
got off the line, but since he registered, he made an appointment. Bro, they sent him his results and said he came back. He was positive for coronavirus.
Wait, repeat that. I'm sorry.
On the line, he made an appointment already, so he came that day, got online, so long ass line, City MD's packed, right?
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it, I can't do it. Got off the line, and they emailed him his results and said that it was positive, but he didn't even take a test.
That's weird.
What's that about? That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
How did they even have his information?
Because he made an appointment.
Oh shit.
So you just sending shit out. So if I make an appointment and don't go, I'm tested positive. That's what I'm saying. It's just weird, bro. It's
But
just stressful. Like if you're really thinking about it, like I may be playing a victim mindset. Sorry, not victim card, victim mindset towards the coronavirus. Of how stressed it makes me feel sometimes. I feel bad.
You sound emotional about the coronavirus,
bro. It's honestly sad if you think about it, bro. You can't. It's not like it's war. You understand what I'm saying? It's not nothing physical. It's a virus. You can't see the virus. You can't do nothing to defend it. We have to wait.
You can't see the virus. You gotta do the smell test.
Exactly. Do the smell test.
It smells a little funny now. You know, I don't look too healthy. You got a condom.
Condom on your nose.
Yo, you really dirty if you about to go hit shorty raw and you like, you know what? I see a little bump. Let me just use a condom. Like, you shouldn't be hitting that at all, bro.
Not at all. But yo, would you go to a restaurant that closed down? A local restaurant that closed down because of COVID-19?
I do not know what you're asking me right now.
So if a restaurant closes down because of COVID-19, someone got infected. Like it was open the whole time during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then I guess people was getting infected in there. Would you go eat there ever again?
I would, because I already got coronavirus and I'm immune. I feel like Superman.
But don't say that shit, bro.
What?
You're not supposed to tell the people that.
Why aren't you supposed to tell the people that you got COVID? We're not cutting this out.
No. We're cutting it out.
Why?
Because I hang out with you every week. And I don't want no one need to know that. So we cutting this out. I'm letting you know that. No funny.
Everyone that gets COVID, tell everyone they have COVID, bro.
Nah, because like
you didn't get it.
I took
you
the
got
right.
Tested.
I got tested, but it's already too late. It gotta get edited out.
All right, fuck it. I don't care.
Okay, but look so you would you eat at that restaurant?
Yeah,
like it's a local restaurant. Like I would understand Applebee's, TGIFs, them big chain TGIFs.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, TGIF today. But a local restaurant, like y'all just dirty people. Y'all dirty people in there.
But I don't know. As you just said, you can't see it. You can't control the spread of it.
Nah, you dirty, bro.
Yo, but listen though. Before we get out of here, because we've been podding for like an hour now, and I'm sure Preacher's about to come in and kick us the fuck out. But Dave Chappelle, right? So apparently, he did. He went on to SNL. He hosted it for one night, and shit was just buzzing. He's arguably the greatest comedian of all time. Everyone was tuned in. And Viacom and Netflix capitalized on a moment. They took his show and threw it on Netflix.
How they do that?
The Dave Show. So apparently he doesn't own anything with the show. He doesn't need to be breached about anything that's going to be done with the show. Apparently he signed all his fucking rights away initially when they created the show.
Damn.
Right? So they throw it on Netflix and he doesn't get paid from it. And he basically raised a whole bunch of shit. He went to Netflix. And him and Netflix apparently have a really good relationship because they pay him like $50 million for a stand-up special. So they have a pretty good relationship. And I think they see good returns from the work that he does for them. So out of good faith, they said, listen, we're going to take it down. Because we understand you're not benefiting from this. We're not going to add to your misery. Because Dave is really unhappy about it. During the stand-up, right, in SNL, he actually had a joke. He always talks about his great-grandfather that was born into slavery. He said, if my great-grandfather seen my career, he'd have been like, God damn, this nigga was sold more than I did. Yeah. I think he said, like, whatever. That's a funny-ass joke.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dave Chappelle.
That's what they be saying what slavery is, huh?
Yes. But number one, I want to say shout out to Netflix for you know what I mean. That's a stand-up move by Netflix. Because it's a Chappelle show, man. I know a bunch of people is tuning in.
Get the Chappelle show. Start charging $15 a month now. Hey.
Yes. Hey. But they took it off.
Yeah.
So respect. But that got me thinking. It's so interesting to see how one person could literally influence an entire generation, the entire way that the world goes, right? For a simple example, Elon Musk, like, it's going to be way past Elon Musk is dead. Everyone is still going to be feeling the effects of Elon Musk, of Bill Gates, of what's the Facebook guy named? Mark Zuckerberg. We're not going to know who those guys are, but everything we do in life in 1,000 years is going to be because of those three. And it's interesting to watch a Chappelle show. And it's still funny as fuck. but you could kind of see through it because we've had more experience with shows like that, sketch shows. We have SNL, and it's basically what DC Young Fly, Shiggy, all of them do, like little IG skits, King Batch and all of them. And you kind of see like it's how do I explain it? You know how 100 years everything looks more simple?
Yeah.
Like you go watch a radio show from 100 years ago, you'd be like, it's so corny, it's so simple. Not that it's corny, but it's simple. And you see how they influenced everybody, right? That's really amazing to me. Another time,
what do you mean by influence everyone? Influence everyone on the show or the listeners?
Like all the upcoming comedians that came after that. Like I was watching the Richard Pryor stand-up, and our time is basically up, but I was watching the Richard Pryor stand-up, and you can see that every single comedian today has taken something from him. Like maybe the way they might state a joke, the way they deliver a punchline, how all comedians, they focus on race. It's a big part. Richard Pryor started that shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
What's the point of saying that?
It's just interesting to watch that. To watch how people
the
have,
first of it.
Yeah, how people, yeah, exactly. To go to the source and see, oh, this is where Dave Chappelle got that from. It's from that guy that I've never even heard about.
Okay, that's when your pieces start hitting.
Exactly. But guys, thank you for tuning into the show. We got to get the fuck out of here, but y'all gonna see us tomorrow again.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be back in this too. We out.
Yep. Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed a trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck?